Good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and wish everyone a very happy Monday here. Thank you for attending the webinar this morning. And we've got a great topic. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest expenses that most retirees are going to encounter during retirement, and some of the ways and ideas that you can incorporate into your practice to help mitigate that expense and allow people to have a retirement where they're doing more of what they want to do. So before we get into that, did want to talk about some of the additional resources and services that are available to you through IMES. So first off is our new producer builders. As you can see there, we've got a variety of point totals ranging from 100,000 to a million, but for agents in their first 6 months of production, as you're producing business with us, you'll accrue points. And you can see we've got a variety of options there that you can cash in on, whether it's straight cash or marketing reimbursement or marketing systems or trips. And what I would encourage you to do is if you've got questions on that, reach out, talk to one of the sales directors over here. That phone number is 800-255-5055. I would also mention to you as well, customization is a cornerstone of who we are. And so if you're getting going with us and you've got some things that you're doing right now that are working well for you, reach out, talk to a sales director about it as well, and we could incorporate that in here. In addition to that, we've got a referred producer program. For those of you that are currently working with IMES, if you know somebody who maybe isn't quite happy with their current relationship or you think might be a fit for working with IMES, send them our way. Not only will you get a $50 bonus when they get contracted, but you'll get an additional $100 bonus on the first piece of business that's placed. And then on an ongoing basis, you'll continue to generate revenue off of their production. You don't have to take care of any of the service or do anything else. We'll take care of all of that. But it's a great way to increase your revenue coming into your company. In addition to that, we've got our marketing reimbursement program. So for every 100,000 of qualifying indexed annuity premium, you accrue an additional $100. And for every 100,000 of SPL, it's actually 200. And then for every 10,000 of target life, it's $200 as well. And if you'd like to learn more about that, or you have an agent that you think might be a fit, reach out, talk to a sales director over here. Again, that number is 800-255-5055. In addition to that, back office support, here's what I would tell you on that. I really feel like there's been a spotlight put on that over the last couple of years with COVID, as carriers have gone remote or had changeover with staff. I think it's really put a spotlight on the importance of dealing with an IMO that provides a high level of service and support, whether it's at the beginning of a case with case design and sales concepts, all the way to new business processing and getting cases issued out in a timely manner. And so I would encourage you, if you haven't tried that with us yet, I would certainly encourage you to do so. In addition to that, one thing that you'll find about us is that we're very tech driven. So we've got we significantly leverage technology. We've got our EAP platforms on the site. You can see here a number of the carriers that integrate with Firelight. We also offer iPipeline on our site as well. So whether you're writing an annuity case or a life insurance case, you can do that right off of our website instead of having to go to a carrier site. In addition to that, we've got our creative services department. And I really think creative is the key word there. I think a lot of advisors over the last couple of years have had to take a step back and look at, how am I currently marketing? How should I be? What are new things that are out there? And so one of the services that we actually provide, and I'll launch our first poll here, is a customized marketing analysis. This is a great way to identify, and actually it's a really great time of the year to do this. We're right kind of at the halfway point of the year. As we all know, as that second half of the year can be an even busier time than the first half. And so right now is a great time to take a step back and look at, what do I want the rest of the year to look like? What do I want next year to look like? How am I currently marketing? What's my target market? And then what's the best mix of strategies to help me accomplish my objectives? And that's what we'll do with this custom marketing analysis process, is identify what those areas of opportunity are for you, as well as, what are things that are getting in the way with accomplishing your goals. So I'll go ahead and get this closed down, but it's a completely complimentary service that we offer for our advisors. In the meantime, as I mentioned, we've got a great team, whether it's web design, branding, you've got some type of a special project that you want to work on, the team can do anything from web, video, print, you name it. In addition to that, we've got the IMS website. As I mentioned, we're a very tech-heavy firm. So in addition to e-applications, you can run life and annuity quotes, you can get industry information. We publish rate changes every week of what's going on in the space. We also have our marketing corner that we post every week, which is a variety of best practices when it comes to marketing and prospecting. And then we've got our sales resource library, which is literally hundreds of consumer-facing point of sale pieces that you can use in your business that you can instantly download right off of our website. In addition to that, we've got our retirement analyzer software. And today even, we're going to be talking about a very unique software platform, but Retirement Analyzer is designed for individuals who are concerned about running out of income in retirement. And so this allows you in a simple and straightforward way to show them, okay, well, based off of where you're at and what you've saved, here's what it's going to look like. And in a very simplistic way shows them a red, yellow, green line of, are they good for retirement? Are they on the verge where it's kind of iffy, or are they going to run out of money? And so you can actually get access to that software absolutely free through IMS. You just need to reach out and talk to a sales director over here. In addition to that, we've got our IMS Wealth Management platform. And you know, for those of you that have been in business for a while, one of the things that you've probably seen over the last 5-10 years is that there has been a shift in the marketplace to doing more comprehensive planning. And I think we're going to continue to see that evolution. That was a big reason why we built out IMS Wealth Management. And so Charles and Duncan, the team over there, do an amazing job. If that's something that you've been thinking about and you're just not quite sure how that would work, or you're interested in doing more comprehensive planning, reach out, talk to the team over there. They can go through the services they offer and how they can help make a positive impact in your business. So with that, we'll get on to the main event here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this switched over. But I've got Tyler Randall with Stonewood Financial on the call today with us. As I mentioned, one of the biggest expenses that people are going to incur in retirement is taxes. And what compounds that issue is not only is it one of the biggest expenses that they're going to face in retirement, but we don't quite know what that's going to be, right? That's called legislative risk, Congress's ability to adjust and modify the way in which we pay taxes. And so Stonewood is a complete system from point of sale to marketing and prospecting to a software platform that can actually show a client, if you did nothing, here is what that's going to look like versus what if we repositioned assets into tax-free. And so with that, Tyler, I'm going to hand it over to you. I appreciate you taking some time to be with us today.
Yeah, great. Appreciate it, Curtis. Thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for joining us here this morning. And what I want to take you through is just, we think really the way to differentiate your business is through this tax savings and tax-free allocations into a portfolio, but it can be a pretty complex space at times and confusing to people. And so we want to make it very simple and easy for the general public to understand, and we want to make it simple for you as advisors and agents to implement into your business. So we're going to hit really a couple of things today. One is we're going to talk about retirement tax bill. And if you think about it on this call, how many of you know what your retirement tax bill is going to be? How much taxes will you pay to the IRS on what you've saved in qualified accounts? And would it be interesting to know that? Would it be interesting to you to be able to see some ideas on reducing your overall taxable situation, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars? And that's what we're doing with Stonewood. And so we're going to really hit how we differentiate our business through a tax savings strategy. And as you guys know, differences in this business sell. So if you can differentiate your business, you're going to attract more prospects, turn them into clients. You're going to be able to help more clients become tax efficient in their retirement strategies, and all of that generates new revenue for you and your firm. And so how we differentiate the business, our business, is through what we would call macro tax planning. Everyone does micro tax planning, which is, looking at a very narrow focus, 1 year. How do I reduce 2021 or 2022 taxes? Macro tax planning is saying, hey, I can help you over your 30-year retirement, reduce your taxable situation, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's that type of conversation that really gets people's attention. And if you can show them a very simple way, their numbers, they will embrace it and look for ideas and implementing it. And I think, one of the most simple things we miss, you talk to all these people, you see like a Dave Ramsey, he's always talking about, well, you're big, pay off all your debts, pay off your house and your car and your credit cards and all this thing, and don't carry any debt. And that's all well and good. And there's a lot of those that I embrace as well. But one thing that he never discusses, and most people don't discuss, is your debt to the IRS. And when people get these statements, this is just a sample 401k statement. They see this 377 grand, they say, oh man, I can take that money and go buy myself a ski chalet in Colorado someplace. And it's not the case. They don't own all that money. And it's being able to relay the fact that there's a debt here to the IRS inherent. Maybe your largest debt that you own is your debt to the IRS out of your qualified account. This situation is 95,000 bucks. And people don't realize that. And so how do we, in a very simple fashion, relay this debt to the IRS? How do we, in a simple fashion, implement macro tax planning into our business? How do we market it? And that's what we've built out at Stonewood. If you're interested in differentiating your business and being able to relay this message very simply and easily to your clients and prospects, then you're on the right webinar here today. Because what I'm going to take you through is our retirement tax bill software and marketing program that allows you to be able to do Roth conversion analysis, to do this macro tax analysis in a very simple fashion. So what we're going to look at is what your client's total tax burden is in retirement. What are the softwares that we can use to simply relay this message? How do we, work with IMS to support your business in implementing this tax-free strategy? So we're going to hit all these things. But let me show you how it works, retirement tax bill. What we've done at Stonewood is built out a custom landing page or microsite that looks like this. And if you can envision up there where it says sample company, your logo and information, you can envision your phone number there. And this landing page asks a very simple question. Is your retirement tax bill too big? Find out in 30 seconds. And so like my opening comments, do you know your retirement tax bill? Would you be interested in knowing how much taxes you're going to pay in retirement? That's what this does. Somebody can very easily, you could email this your custom website to a client or prospect. They can put in their name, age, dollar amount in their qualified account. If they know their tax rate, they can slide that little tax rate bar to their appropriate rate. If they don't know it, they click I don't know, and it defaults at 25%. And what it allows us to be able to do, if this was let's say I sent this to somebody who is 60 with $500,000 and they filled out their information and clicked see my bill, what would pop up is this screen. Congratulations, you're ready to understand your retirement tax bill. Your total potential taxes with your existing approach is $451,862. Now, if I'm someone that doesn't know anything about this conversion planning, and I put in that I own $500,000, and this thing is telling me you're going to pay $451,862 on $500,000, I'm going to say, wow, I've never seen this before, and most people haven't seen it in the aggregate like this. Your total potential taxes with adjustments is $100,000. So I'm looking at this screen and it's got my attention, and that's what it's designed to do, is get somebody's attention, realize there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of tax savings. This is about 350,000 bucks in this scenario. And the button right below that is where your calendar link will sit. Review with your financial professional. They can click on that button and schedule a meeting with you. And that's what's so cool about this, is we can, in 30 seconds, grab a client or prospect's attention, let them know their tax bill in a quick snapshot, and get them on the calendar so we can now have this discussion. We've now differentiated our business, and we've opened the client or prospect in a way to have this tax savings conversation. If they don't schedule time with you here off your calendar link based on this information, the next steps are they're invited to check their inbox, because you will have also generated this retirement tax bill site that Stonewood will build out for you, will generate a custom report that looks like this. And it'll define a little bit more where those taxes come from RMDs and a death, and what a reallocation to a tax-free. We don't define the product. So if you want to have that tax-free be a Roth annuity or Roth AUM, or if you want to utilize another tax-free vehicle, you certainly can pivot in whatever direction is appropriate. But it's a wide open conversation, and we've designed it to not define that, because we want people to have questions. We want people to talk to you from this report. It's a little more information, but not enough for them to really do anything by themselves on it. And they would be invited. Not only do they get the report, they're going to be invited to a 30-minute complimentary call with you. So in this email, the report's attached, and there will be an invitation for a 30-minute complimentary call and an opportunity to schedule time off of the email as well. So what will happen, and what we're seeing happen all the time, is once we've sent this out to our clients or prospects, they're seeing the information, they're booking time off of your website. If the people miss that, they get another opportunity to book time with you from the email, and you'll catch another group of people that will book right off this report and information. Like, man, I gotta talk to somebody about this. I see that there's an issue here. But anybody who runs a report will be captured on your Stonewood dashboard. So, you can see like Bob Smith and Rita, they booked time with me, but John didn't. And I can see all of their information. I'll see John, and his age is 61. I'll see that he's got $1 million in his qualified account, and he didn't schedule time. Well, Stonewood's built out a very custom follow-up process that's been effective. But to me, I'm picking up the phone and saying, hey, I saw John, he ran a report. Looks like there's significant tax savings for you. Let's schedule some time and get together. So everybody's captured here. If you want to use the Excel or PDF or CSV, whatever your CRM program is, you can download these, and put them into your CRM for follow-up. But it's a terrific and efficient way to have this and open this tax-free conversation or conversion conversation without having to spend a lot of money, and without having to spend a lot of time in engaging folks. So that's the way that works. And what we might do initially, and what we're encouraging people to do, is say, hey, let's send this out to all of our clients over age 60 with qualified money. That's our prime Roth conversion target audience. And let's say I had 100 people that I sent that retirement tax bill site out to, and I got 20 people that ran reports and showed up here, and I had 5 people that booked a meeting with me. That's great. I pressed a button and I got 5 meetings on Roth conversion, and maybe the total assets on conversions over $1 million. I mean, that's a big deal. Now we're having a meaningful tax conversation and conversion conversation that can result in a lot of new revenue. But I've got 15 people that didn't schedule time with me. What do we do with those folks? Well, we have built out, and I'll show you here in a minute, seminars and webinars that you can invite them to. We have books and client one-pagers and white papers that we can drip on them. All of it's part of the funnel process that comes with this retirement tax bill package. And I'm going to show you more on that in just a minute. But let's talk a little bit about, kind of switch and say, how do we prospect with retirement tax bill? You will get a number of graphics that you can use on your website, or if you're doing digital marketing through Facebook and LinkedIn, you get some graphics that look like this. This is just one example. Discover your retirement tax bill in 30 seconds. It's a graphic button that you can put on your social media, and if somebody sees that and says, oh, I want to know what my retirement tax bill is, they press on it, takes them to your landing page. They can run that report. Now their information goes from somebody out there just looking at your social media or your Facebook or your LinkedIn to, you've got their name, age, dollar amount in their qualified account, and they may even just schedule a meeting with you. And I think that's terrific. We have built out all the copy, by the way. So there's email here for prospects. We have email for current clients. There's a number of different email copies that you can just cut and paste and utilize right away. One of the ideas I love on prospecting is list retargeting. So if you're on this call and you've done workshops in the past, seminars or webinars, and without a doubt, if you've done them over time, you've got a number of people that have RSVP'd for those that never showed up, or maybe they attended your event, but they never became a client or they never booked a meeting. Let's compile all of those names because they're just collecting dust right now, right? But they are meaningful. If you have their name and their email address, why not send them a retirement tax bill and say, hey, this could take you just 30 seconds, but might save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. And somebody might see that, click on it, and run a report. And now they're engaged with you. And we've retargeted a list of people, and we're starting to engage with them, and they may just book time with you and schedule time with you. So we've taken these people and names that are kind of collecting dust, and now we've got them engaged with our process because we've differentiated ourselves through this tax savings conversation. And we've got a whole playbook on this, on how to generate client referrals, work people through the funnel process. There's a number of ways to use retirement tax bill, and we'd love to share more of it with you. This is the top 10 ways to utilize it, whether it's email campaigns or referrals or just adding it to your email signature. Anybody that runs a report, again, hits your Stonewood dashboard for follow-up, and we have two great follow-up pieces that you can use around Roth conversions. One is the Rising Tax Risk Seminar and Webinar. The PowerPoint is built out for you to use and to implement. That does have speaker notes. We have sample videos of us presenting it. So you could download this, get very comfortable with the Rising Tax Risk Seminar. And the best call to action is the complimentary tax analysis at the end that people would charge for, that could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you run that seminar or webinar and you put that call to action of their retirement tax bill out there, and that you can run that report for them complimentary, you'll get meetings from that. So the whole idea is to take this list of people. Some will schedule meetings right away. The others we can invite to a seminar, a webinar. If you're not into seminars and webinars, the New Holistic Retirement book is a 100-page book that talks about Roth conversions and why we want to utilize that. And this is something that's available in a hard copy book for you to market with and follow up with, or as an ebook. So what we see a lot of people using our ebook is, let's say we've got those, again, we'll go back to my example where we sent out our retirement tax bill site to 100 people, and 5 people booked a meeting and 15 people didn't schedule a meeting. Well, I might send them the New Holistic ebook and say, look, I saw you ran a report. Looks like there's significant tax savings. Here's a book on the strategy that I think will help you understand how to get to that tax savings. Give it a read and let's schedule some time. And the great thing about the ebook is once you send it to them, you get the analytics back to your dashboard that says, hey, John opened the book and read 1 page, and that was it. And Sally opened the book and read the whole thing. And of course, if I send that book out to 15 people and I see that 2 or 3 read the whole book, that's who I'm picking up the phone and following up with. And that's who I'm really going to focus invites to our webinars or 1-pagers or white papers to drip on and try to get them on my calendar and in a meeting. So there's a number of resources here all around tax savings and Roth conversion planning, where we're not defining any products. We're just talking about tax savings, tax-free allocations in a portfolio, and I think that's so important. So that's a little bit on the marketing side of it. Once somebody wants to come in, we do have software that can allow you to do the Roth conversion planning very quickly. I'm going to give you an example of that. And if you want to, ask us about our overfunded FIA strategy, it's going to be, if you're looking to really maximize the way that you're using FIAs right now and implement this strategy, we have a very simple software for you to use that can allow you to, again, differentiate the story you're telling and the solutions you're giving. And that's something I won't go into right now, but I want to just let you know, ask us about it, and we can certainly show that to you. But here's the software on conversion. This would be somebody that's in their 60s, $1.5 million in an IRA, and we want them to consider maybe $500,000 conversion into a Roth. So we would put in their tax rate and a growth rate, and in our software, you can show a rising tax rate if you want to show the taxes going up, up to 4 times, over a 30-year retirement, different tax rates at death. You can really customize it. And from a return standpoint, you can really customize that as well. You know, how much you want to attribute to equities and bonds and the fee structure within there. So you can get really accurate on this, the conversion analysis. So in this case, on $500,000, we're showing that this client would have a total tax bill of $451,000. If they keep their dollars in their account, they take their RMDs, there's $191,000 from RMDs. At death, at age 90, which is kind of the default rate here, would be $164,000. And if this client reinvests his RMDs, he'd have another $95,000 in taxes that the IRS would tax those non-qualified assets. If we spent the RMDs, obviously we wouldn't have that line item. If this client saw just a increase from 20% up to 30%, what does that do to our tax bill? Well, now it drives it up to $656,000. So we could run these two different ways, one with a flat tax and one with a rising tax rate, and people start to understand the rising tax risk. And this is part of what we discussed in the seminars and webinars. And when people see this and see that that's a $200,000 difference, that's a big deal. And now we're starting to get people's attention, and they start to understand why it's so important. You know, again, this guy had $1.5 million, why it's so important to get some of this money out of the tax deferred buckets and into tax free, because these dollars we save stay in the family rather than go to the IRS. So as we compare it to a conversion to Roth with a rising tax rate, the tax savings is very, very significant. At the 20% bracket, if we convert this while they're in that tax bracket, we could minimize his taxes, or her taxes, I guess it's a him here, down to $100,000. That's a $550,000 tax savings. So that's a big deal. So as we discuss this and say, hey, you know, we really have two paths here in you know, our analysis. One is the path that you're on, which is just deferring your account, taking RMDs. It could be anywhere from $450,000 to $650,000 in taxes, but you currently would pay about $100,000 if we could convert now while taxes are low. And that's what we want to try to do, is differentiate your business by showing this conversion for a portion of money and just tax diversifying the account. And we do it in a very simple way. I think you can get very confused. You know, people can get confused on this. You can get very complex, but if you can keep it simple, you're going to have more of these conversion plans, and you're going to do more business and generate more revenue. And that's the whole idea. Part of our offering through the software and the marketing retirement tax bill is we also offer our Ignites conference. This is a full day of best practices around this. We've spent, you know, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes here today to give you an overview of what we do. If you come to this event, we hear time and time again, this is the best conversion planning event that people attend that's in the business right now. And so you can get all the best practices on using the retirement tax bill site, story selling, overcoming objections, how we implement this, how we market with it. It's a great event, and we've got, I think we will have one more coming up this year, and then a number of events in 2023. So ask us about that. We'd be happy to help give you more information. So if you want to learn more about becoming a retirement tax bill member, what it would include is the custom site and landing page that you can market with right away. Usually takes us a couple of days to get that set up for you, but it's ready to rock and roll and market with pretty quickly. You'll get a software and login and password so you can run the reports that we looked at. All of our prospect and marketing, our rising tax bill seminar, our graphics and buttons that you can use on your social media that would lead to your retirement tax bill site, the new holistic retirement plan, and all of our marketing funnels and ideas. And then we do a very extensive training and coaching around all of this. So we do give you a Stonewood success coach to work with you closely in implementing this tax-free allocation. The Ignites conference is designed to be a full day deep dive sales and positioning on conversion planning to help you implement this into your business. And the cost that we charge to implement all of it, it's $998 to set up the site, and then you can utilize $249 a month as long as you want to stick around and be a member of Stonewood and utilize these resources. So I can't think of another way to be able to simply tell this story and engage people in an efficient manner to get them on your calendar, whether it's clients or prospects. We think it's just a terrific tool and doesn't take a whole lot of business to get a positive return on this investment. So if you're interested in learning more, just let Curtis or his team know at times that we can set up some time and get it up and running or answer questions that you may have. But we think this is a terrific time. Timing couldn't be better with the looming tax risk that's out there and legislative risk to plug in and be able to start marketing, implementing, and differentiating your business with retirement tax bill. So appreciate your time. I'll kick it back over to Curtis, and we'll look forward to working with you or talking to you soon.
Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate that. And one thing that we've seen out there with all of our marketing and our prospecting is that taxes are a huge topic. I mean, even going back to last year with the Build Back Better plan, even though they didn't make it across, I mean, that was significantly in the media. I mean, I don't think there's a question that we're going to have a tax change here in the upcoming years. I mean, we know the TCJA sunsets at the end of 2025, so we know we're going to have some changes. And I think the common interpretation of that is the government's not going to say we need less tax revenue with what's going on. But I think the idea of Roth conversions or using cash value life insurance as an asset class. I mean, Tyler, I mean, I'm sure you would agree that, I mean, there's a certain level of education that the advisor is doing to help somebody kind of understand that, correct?
For sure. And, I think one of the things that, I didn't mention in here, we really do focus a lot around legislative risk. And within our retirement tax bill offering, we do have a white paper that's client facing. We have one for advisors, but we also have a client facing white paper to market with. And I think it's important for just people to know that and realize that Congress writes these rules around qualified accounts in pencil, and they can go back in and change the distributions of them and what the tax rate is at any time. And that risk is really important for people to understand. We do have a lot of resources for you to tap into and utilize to market that risk as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and while we're wrapping up here, I'm going to launch our final poll here, which is if you're interested in accessing Stonewood Financial, just fill that out. We've got a couple of different promotions going with Stonewood. So not only can you they've got a few different platforms available. So not only can you get discounts with that, but you can actually get access to the new rules of retirement module absolutely free, just by being licensed with IAMS and working with us. The other thing I would mention as well is I've seen a significant amount of interest in the outputs with the software platform. I think, Tyler, most people are visual people, but I think, one thing when you talk about it, just base annuity illustrations, life illustrations, those types of things, I mean, some of those can be 30, 40, 50 pages long. I think one of the things that's really interesting with the platform is that you guys have a variety of modules. And so you can have, I mean, even the Simplify the Life illustration module, it's only, I believe, 5 pages. You can take a 50-page IUL illustration and boil it down into 5 pages.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think, we just try, everything Stonewood does is we try to make these complex things simple in our business. And, if you guys have used insurance at all, the long insurance illustrations, and we've just worked with a lot of the carriers. So if you do want to allocate to a life allocation, that you don't have to make it complex, and you can get in there and run a simplified IUL illustration. It's really, there's about 5 total pages, but there's really only 1 or 2 that you present and show that shows exactly all the benefits you want, how much premium we're going to put in, what your initial death benefit is, the value of that premium at retirement age, the income it creates, the return assumption. And, it's easy to present, and we've worked with the carriers so that you can do a simple compliant presentation that's a lot shorter than those 50-page reports. And we just make it simple and easy for you to not only create that report, but also to present to clients and do it in a compliant way. So yeah, I think that's something that we see people utilize quite a bit with us.
Okay. Well, Tyler, I appreciate you taking some time with us today. I'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get this poll shut down. For those of you on the webinar, again, we've seen significant growth with advisors who have been using the Stonewood platform. So certainly feel free to reach out, talk to one of your sales directors over here. They'll be reaching out to you as well. A great opportunity to incorporate this into your practice as we go into the second half of the year. And appreciate you taking the time today. Thanks.